Hi friends, my name is David McLeod. I've been thinking a lot lately about this notion of playing big. I think I've had the idea for quite some time that I could be just so big, but no bigger, and that there was a place for me within the cogs of this giant machine we're all part of, and that to imagine that I might move beyond that place would be exceedingly difficult, if not impossible. Certainly if I listen to what the world appears intent on telling me, it seems that each of us has a predetermined destiny, and that to dream beyond that destiny is a total waste of time. And of course, my ego mind is particularly good at finding evidence that supports that belief. I mean, it must be true. After all, there's such a small percentage of all the people on the planet who appear to be truly successful. And yet, my heart and soul are continually calling upon me in quiet words that are full of conviction and certainty to move beyond that kind of thinking and to allow myself to blossom. I love that my heart and soul encourage and motivate me like that, but the truth is, I feel a lot of fear when I imagine myself stepping into the next version of who I am, into a version that plays as big as the really successful people on this planet. In the beginning, I can feel a sense of excitement and joy in my body when I imagine myself stepping into my full potential. And yet, the moment I connect with that feeling, that old belief system kicks in and works hard to bring me back to earth, as the saying goes. I can hear the voice of authority, of earthly authority, booming in my ear. Who do you think you are, anyway? You're getting pretty big for your britches, don't you think? Quit being such a dreamer and get back to reality. You've got to know your own limitations. Get your head out of the clouds. I think another very subtle unconscious belief that I have is that if I do step up and really succeed in my own life, then I will have to hurt some people along the way, and that I will end up hurting people I really care about and love. You know, combined together, all these very rational stories that I hear in my head keep me from being as big as I could possibly be. But you see, everything I'm afraid of is just a risk that exists in my imagination. I don't absolutely know it to be true. I only fear that it might be true. So in actuality, I'm holding myself back out of some uncertain fear that something bad might happen. And indeed, it is a risk. But that's all it is. Here's one thing I do know. If I don't take the risk to step up and show up in my life, then I will never achieve my full potential. So it seems I've got my life set up in a very strange way. I don't allow myself to be as big as possible because I don't want to cause other people pain. In other words, I choose not to play as big a game as I can because there's a risk that someone might not approve of me or like the way I'm showing up. Now, I'm sure you can relate to some of what I'm talking about, at least on some level. Are there ways that you are holding yourself back out of a fear that you'll create pain or hurt somebody? Are there ways that you keep yourself from fulfilling your own potential so as to avoid losing relationships that you value? I plan on breaking through this false belief that lives in my ego mind. I plan on stepping through my fear and living as big as possible. I invite you to do the same. Let's grow together. Let's blossom together. Let's live our lives with enthusiasm, passion, and excitement together. Love and blessings to you on your continuing journey.